So, welcome to your latest Fulham Fix, the show about all things Fulham for the fans, the most important part of the game, the fans. And joining us, a man that once played for Super League giants, Tottenham Hotspur, Sean Davis. How are you, sir?
Funny man. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
I couldn't resist. Everyone else has been doing it. Good to see you. Also joining us, the total gent, that is the one and only Mr. Jamie Reid. Jamie, how are you?
Very well, Ivan. Pleased to be here.
Good. And also joining us, a Norwegian legend and a man who made over 50 appearances for the Cottagers. It's Mr. Erik Nevland. How you doing, Erik?
I'm good, Ivan. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much for joining us. How is it over in Norway at the moment?
Yeah, it's all good. Getting better with the coronavirus and everything. So hopefully we can be back to normal quite soon.
Are you in any form of lockdown at the moment? Things are starting to ease over here in the UK. Are you similar over there?
Yeah, it's starting to ease up. Yeah, so I hope by the end of June we will be back to normal.
Some sort of normality. Well, pleased to hear it. I think it would be crazy not to discuss straight off the bat nothing really to do with Fulham, just football in general. It's been an absolutely insane week with regards to this European Super League, this Big Six. And I just wanted to get why I've got so many solid football heads on one screen. I wanted to get everyone's thoughts. We'll start with you, Erik. What was your thoughts, firstly, when you heard about this European Super League? Probably when we all did at the same time when it was announced.
Yeah, I was obviously, as everyone else, shocked that they would go on such a route, and obviously for the fans and everyone, it was a real blow to see all these big clubs breaking out and doing that. So I was really pleased when I saw that Chelsea took the stand and pulled out of it, and the other clubs did the same. So hopefully we can forget it and go on.
Fingers crossed. I hope so. I mean, you want to think that they won't try and pull anything like it again, but who knows? Sean, where do you stand on it? Obviously, you work now. You know, you've played many years in football, and you work now behind the scenes to an extent. Did you have any inkling that this was about to happen, or was going to be announced?
No, not at all, really. To be honest, I didn't think anything could happen or it could go through. I didn't kind of non-believed it. Obviously, I thought that the Big Six from this country have made a bold move by associating to it, and obviously with the reaction from everyone else, they've backtracked very quickly. So I think there's going to be more on it. I think there's going to be a lot of legalities, a lot of lawyers, a lot of money involved. So I don't think this is the end of it, but hopefully it won't go through, as you say, because football is for the fans and the competition in itself.
Mm. And Jamie, it was met really with. I'm not sure I met one person that thought it was in any way a good idea or just didn't care. It seemed to ignite an entire passion in the entire footballing community. First up, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it's solidarity, isn't it? We've all stood together, and us football fans felt it wasn't the right decision. It's clearly not. And I'd point you in the direction of Shad Khan's statement on the official club website, Ivan, because I think he's hit the nail on the head. Football is for fans. Fans play such a pivotal role. It's hard, isn't it, for everyone at the moment? And it just almost seems the worst possible timing to come and go out a public statement and sort of get the situation going like this. I think the right decision has ultimately been reached, and a tip of the hat to everyone who's made the right decision. But really, I think it's left a very sour taste in the mouth.
Very sour taste. And I'm just going to put this out to all three of you. We'll start with you, Jamie. Should there be punishment for the Big Six?
I don't think there will be, but I think there probably should. Yeah.
Okay, Sean. Should there be punishment for the Big Six?
The sad thing is, because it's all financial, I think there will. And I'll revert back to, I know this is maybe off topic, but a player giving racist abuse to another player gets a 10-game ban, but we're more want to fine this guy millions and sack people over this. I just think we need to get our priorities straight a little bit.
Mm.
And that's my opinion, to be fair. Like, little things from UEFA. Someone gets banned 12 games, Kieran Trippier, for match betting, and then someone gets done 10 games for racism. It just doesn't add up to me. It's just all a bit of a nonsense to be honest.
It does. The whole system needs.
It just needs a reality check.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Erik, what's your thoughts? Should there be some form of punishment now for these clubs?
I think there should be, but I don't think it will happen. I think hopefully we can use this and maybe look at the World Cup in Qatar as well in the same in the flow, to put it that way. That UEFA also can look at themselves and see that they're not doing everything right then either.
Yeah. No, agreed. Right, on to more important matters at hand. The mighty Fulham, the only club that actually matter. Erik Nevland, do you still follow Fulham's results? I know you've been down the cottage a few times in the last few years. We always love having you there. Are you following their progress at the moment in this current Premier League season?
Yeah, of course. I always follow the clubs where I've played before, but obviously Fulham has a special place in my heart, and I always follow the games. It's not every game I'm able to watch live, but obviously following through social media and everything. So yeah, it's exciting to follow Fulham. And
do you have a take currently on the season as it is? I know it's looking at the table, it's certainly not where we hope to be at this point.
Obviously, looking at the table, it's a bit sad to watch, but I think throughout the season it's been kind of a more positive vibe around the club. If you know what I mean, it's from the last years. It's they've taken steps towards something that looks better, and obviously playing style and the manager and everything. It looks more solid than it has done the last few years. So I'm quite positive. Obviously, if they get relegated, then they have to start over again. But I think as a fan and as one who follows it a bit from the outside, it looks more positive around the place.
You're totally right. It really does. There's a good team spirit and a good morale there. That definitely comes across, and it comes across in the way we're playing football continuously on the pitch, even with 5 games left. But we've got to now turn to the Arsenal game. Sean, what are your thoughts on the games at the Emirates? How unlucky were Fulham not to take 3, what would have been such vital points at this point?
Yeah, to concede so late, obviously never ever won there, is a tough pill to swallow, but we're in the position we are because we folded against Aston Villa and we didn't beat Wolves home. So it evens itself out. But the boys, one thing I can say about the lads is that they've always kept going. They've always worked hard. We just fallen short, in scoring goals and finishing teams off and winning games.
It's true. Jamie, obviously you were there at the match. Firstly, was it offside?
Not in my opinion, Ivan, no, because I think to myself, and I'm not a goalkeeper, so I stand to be corrected, and everyone's got their own view. But if you've got somebody in your eye line and you've got a player at the edge of the 6-yard box, I think it's the old adage, if he's not interfering with play, what is he in that position for? I mean, Erik will have a far greater view on that as a striker, but you just think to yourself that he is interfering with play. He's putting off Alphonse Areola. I don't think the goal should have stood. Whether the first one that they ruled out in the opening half had some kind of a consequence, I don't know whether that was the case. But it's just so frustrating that we get right through to the dying embers, and it's virtually the last kick of the game, Ivan. Yeah. I mean, it really is a kidney punch, isn't it?
Oh, it was... sitting there watching it, and it ruined the rest of the day. Totally ruined the rest of the weekend for me, if I'm honest. But it's one of those things. It's the part. It's part of being a football fan. How was Gentleman Jim? I got a message from my dad straight away, just saying, "Poor Gentleman Jim." He sounded like he had a slight nervous breakdown.
They've got to rule it out. He's a mile off. He's right bang in the middle of the 6-yard box.
He's in the centre of the goal.
They're showing it again. Why? It's got to be offside. How can anyone not think he's offside?
You can see how far off he is.
Yeah, after the ridiculous ones they rule out, he's got to rule it.
Oh, he's giving it onside.
Oh, you can't give that. You can't give that. How is that not offside?
A little bit when the final whistle went, when the ref agreed that it was a goal. How was he after the game?
Well, he was rightly furious, and it goes without saying that the piece of equipment that we use, an ISDN box, which is the sort of technical name for it, basically what it allows us to do is broadcast. That very nearly was shattered into pieces, so we quickly went off air. I think that was the safest and wisest way of doing things. It was such a tough pill to swallow, wasn't it? Because the team had done so well. Josh Maggis steps up, scores his first goal. I know he had that one ruled out, but the first goal that stood with a good penalty into the roof of the net. You think to yourself, okay, we're going to go on, we're going to pick up the 3 points. And there's such a big difference, isn't there, between winning matches and drawing matches. Losing those 2 points was such a difficult one to take. You could quite rightly see Jim did the right thing, got us off air nice and quickly.
Sean, what does that do for a player's mental strength? An equaliser like that in the last, well, it really was like Jamie said, the last kick of the game, the last 30 seconds of time added on. What does that do to a player's mental strength?
It's just more of a frustration. You come off the pitch just in disbelief, but you have to learn from it. You have to take it into the next game. I think we conceded the last minutes against Wolves. Then we do the same again. I just think the players need to start learning from it. Is it too late this season? I'm not too sure, but you are very, very frustrated at, seeing the game out until the 90th minute and then getting 2 points snatched away. It's I wouldn't have liked to have been in the dressing room after the game anyway. No,
it would have been an awful atmosphere. So we are, as it stands, 6 points from safety with 5 games left. Oddly enough, Erik, similar, almost identical position for Fulham during the legendary Great Escape season, which you played a pivotal part of. Do you remember what the mentality was like back then at Fulham during the Great Escape season when you were 6 points from safety and you basically needed to win your remaining games to do what felt impossible at the time? What was the mental state of the players?
I think there was a fighting spirit, but obviously Roy, the manager, did really well to keep us focused and just to take. I know it's boring to say, but take one game at a time and just see how where it takes you. But that's what we did, and when we started winning, obviously you get a better flow in your game, and you get more confidence, and you just keep going. But obviously you need that the other teams doesn't do well. But we took one game at a time, started winning, and obviously that helped.
Well, like I said, you did almost what felt like impossible at the time, but showed that how very, very possible it was. There's a lot of similarities between the team of the Great Escape that you were part of, Erik, and this team that we have now. Sean, how possible is it that this team especially, this bunch of players, with Joachim Andersen as our captain, how possible is it that we can just keep fighting till the bitter end and pull this thing off?
Oh, 100% sure they'll keep fighting till the end. Is there a chance? Of course there's a chance. We're not mathematically down. Are we relying on other teams to lose as well? Yes, which you wouldn't want. A couple of weeks ago, we wasn't really reliant on anyone else. We got to a point where if we win our games, we come out of the zone. And we got to that point and you thought, go on, there's your chance to get out of the relegation zone. And then the kind of couple 4 or 5 bad results in a row is kind of, not dented confidence, but set us back to where we are now. But if we're going to stand any chance of staying up, we need to score goals, and you just want to see where the goals are going to come from.
Jamie, what do you want to see from this squad for these remaining massive cup final 5 games?
I think Sean's right. I think we've just got to keep fighting, Ivan. There will be one result within the pack that's going to pick out that we're going to win a game and not necessarily maybe deserve to win it or not certainly expected to win it. And that points for me towards either Chelsea or Manchester United. You know, you wouldn't expect to go to either of those grounds and win, but I just get the feeling that we might be able to pull off a result at one of those places. I very much hope that we'll be able to do it at both, but certainly it would be lovely to do it at one. You then look at the Burnley game. We've got to drag them in by winning that fixture. Can we go down to St Mary's and win? Yes, I think we can. And can we beat Newcastle on the final day of the season? I see absolutely no reason why not. Yes, people are saying that they've got Alan Saint-Maximin, who's a real talented player, back. They've got Callum Wilson back. They've got some talented players. So have we, Ivan. I think we just need to get a win very, very quickly. And I think if we can pick up 3 points, then you can almost compartmentalise the games, a little bit like what Erik said. You know, pick up the 3 points and then go again. You know, take it one game at a time and gradually keep doing your business. There's been a real shooting in the toe of the players and the coaching staff. I mean, I just think it's been so galling with that last-minute Wolverhampton Wanderers winner. You know, you drop a point there. You then have the Arsenal situation. And, of course, up at Aston Villa, we might have been able to take something from that game and should have taken something from that game. So, yes, maybe we haven't necessarily helped ourselves like we might have been able to do. But I still think we're in there fighting, and that's the thing that's really stood for me. It's that goals column, isn't it, that needs to improve, because we've certainly solidified very nicely defensively.
No, agreed. And I think, like, if any team could do it, it's this team. They're strong. They play well. And like I said, they seem to have this fantastic mentality. Erik, if I could stick you in the dressing room of our current team right now, going into these last 5 games, what would you say to that team to inspire them as a player that's done it before?
I think I would start to focus a little bit about how you look at the Arsenal game. I know it was bitterly disappointing to lose a goal at the end, but if you can do it away against Arsenal, you can do it against Chelsea and Man United as well. So you can use that to the positive and say that we're in with a chance and we can fight against all the teams. Obviously, you need to pick up points, but the ability and believe in your own ability and just go out and do the job. That's probably has to be the main focus, I think.
Excellent, agreed. Right, let's chat a bit about your time during the Great Escape. Your first 2 goals came after signing. They were massive, massive goals in that time as well. Away to Reading and home to Birmingham. What was the feeling for you then, scoring such massive goals that ended up being such a big part of Fulham's history?
I didn't think about that at the time, but obviously I had sort of a difficult moment when I signed, and it took me some time to adapt and to get some playing time. So when I scored against Reading away, it felt like it just gave me the confidence to and the knowledge that I could make it at this level and that I could be a vital part for the team. So that was obviously very important for me to score that goal against Reading, and obviously the goal against Birmingham as well was such a big moment for me personally. But it showed afterwards that it was quite an important goal.
Honestly, a very, very important goal. I got to ask as well, do you remember the chant that the fans were singing at Reading, the Fulham fans?
Yeah. It struck me straight away when I was after the game and when we were winning the game, and they were singing "You must be," because we're winning away. So
That's it,
yeah. It was quite a long time. It was 18 months or something for the last away win for Fulham back then, I think. Yeah.
And then managed to pull off 3 in a row or something, insane like that. It was massive. Talking of chants, obviously that's a classic chant, which I love the fact that you remember it so well. It was actually Jeff Bruce from Fulham who brought that up and told me to ask you about that because he said he came talking about it after the game. Sean, do you have a favourite chant that you remember?
No, not really.
Really? There's nothing that you used to love hearing the crowd.
No, not really. No, nothing springs to mind at the moment, to be fair.
No?
Yeah, brain's frozen.
What about yourself, Jamie?
I'm terrible. I don't necessarily hear them. I enjoy hearing the passion, Ivan, and I think that's one thing that perhaps stands out. Kind of a sitting on the fence answer, but we just miss fans, don't we, so much? I mean, have we been at the Emirates? I'm going back in time, but have we been at the Emirates on Sunday with fans? Maybe the fans might have been able to suck that extra little bit of goodness into the team, and we might have been able to hold on. I just think it's hit everybody really, really hard, and I'm surprised, and it will be interesting to hear from Erik. You know, do you as a player, and Sean as well, do you as a player hear the chants, or is it only when you're listening on Match of the Day, or you go onto YouTube or wherever it might be, you know, the official Fulham website? Is that where you pick it up, or can you hear it? Because I'm terrible. You know, I'm sitting very, very close. I can hear some of the abuse generally directed in my direction, but from the fans, I don't necessarily hear the chants. I've got to be honest.
No. When you play, you don't hear it. You're so focused on what you're doing that it's just in the background. But when you're on the bench or when you're in the stands, you obviously hear it, and you can feel the rhythm, if you know what I mean. You can feel the rhythm of the chants, and I agree with you with fans in the stands. It gives you a little bit more energy and gives you a little bit more resilience to dug out results, really.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'll tell you the one thing that I didn't realise how much I'd miss until fans haven't been in the stadium for this time. It's when I'm doing substitutes and I'm doing the away subs, and I miss the who. You know what I mean? And I even time it in my head when I'm reading it. I hear the who in my head, and I cannot wait to hear that again. And it doesnn't matter who the player is. It could be the biggest player in the league. Sergio Aguero. It's still a who. Love it. Miss that so much. Can't wait till that comes back. Let's talk a bit, Erik, about Fratton Park as well. You came on knowing that Fulham needed to score. What was that like? How much pressure did that put on you?
When I was getting ready to get on the pitch, Roy told me that all the other results are going against us, so we have to score. We have to win this game, and obviously that was I had to go onto the pitch and tell everyone that we have to go for it, because otherwise we're doomed. So it was very special, and the goal came quite quick after I got on the pitch as well. So the minutes after the goal is probably the longest 15 minutes of my life. I think it was. I felt like the game never was going to end.
No, absolutely. What did you say? I mean, that's one hell of a thing to have said to you by Roy. I mean, talk about pressure on your shoulders. He's basically telling you, please go on and score. We need you to score. We need you to do something. How do you take that as a player?
Obviously take it as a challenge, and obviously going on the pitch and thinking that I can be the hero here. Obviously. But no, it's just how we approach the game. Obviously, if the other results were going in our favor, we didn't have to risk anything. But now we had to change the game and go more forward and take more risks. And obviously, that wasn't something Roy normally did. So it was kind of a change in the game.
It was. And what do you say to the players when you come on, when you pass on the message that, guys, this 0-0 is not going to butter our crumpets? We need to go for all three here in order to survive. What do you say?
Yeah, I obviously went straight to Danny Murphy, who was the captain, and told him that all the other teams are winning, and we just have to score. So So he then he took the responsibility and
took matters into his own hands
yeah,
at that point.
Yeah, he did.
He thought now's the time to step up and score a very rare header.
Yeah, but if it was the other way around, he would never be in the box for that free kick. So that's kind of the change that we needed. That some more of the players took responsibility going forward.
Crazy, Sean. I got to bring you in here because I think you came on a similar time, didn't you?
Yeah, I was on the bench. I was fuming because obviously we were in the cup final, so I kind of knew by me playing in this game I wouldn't be involved in the cup final, or especially in the starting 11. So it was weird, really, because I was watching the game thinking, they're up for it. I knew you could just tell they were going to win the game because we were playing like we were. Yeah, there's a cup final next week, and they were playing as if it was for their lives. So for me, it was a great result because obviously I wanted to see Fulham stay up.
And did you? That was my point. Again, chatting to sort of Jeff about this before, he likes to think that when you came on, you sort of went easy, really, just so that
not really. I remember running. I remember we were 1-0 down. I come on, but obviously a lot of people said, "Oh, was you marking Danny Murphy?" No, I was first man in the wall, but I remember after they scored the goal, kind of sprint forward to try and get in the box. And I remember Danny Murphy saying to me, "Oh, you used to play for these. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I went, "Yeah, you got a point here." So I kind of slowed down a little bit. But
did he actually say that to you?
Yeah, he said that to me. "Oh, we used to play for these." Like, because I kind of went on a little sprint, and I thought, actually, he went, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Because he didn't want to chase me back. So I kind of then.
I mean, literally, I'm hearing this right now. I mean, Sean Davis, you're already a hero in so many Fulham fans' eyes. Hearing that at that point, you slowed down. You know,
slowed down a little bit.
I was like, I mean, you.
Maybe that's why I wasn't in the cup final the next week. Maybe that's why I got dropped from the cup final.
Well, but it was worth it because Fulham survived, right?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I enjoyed it because I had my little girl there. And I never really had a goodbye with Fulham when I left. Obviously, I left under dodgy circumstances, obviously joining Spurs. But I got like a good like ovation from the crowd. I had my little girl with me, because it was our last home game of the season, so we had to walk around the pitch. So yeah, it was good to get that kind of applause from the crowd. Obviously, the crowd were buzzing that they were staying up, so it was a good day.
Well, absolutely buzzing, and with your help now, apparently.
No, not to be fair, it was nothing. But I can always remember him saying, "Why are you running? Why are you running? You didn't used to play for this lot." I was like, "Yeah, you got to play there."
It makes me love Danny Murphy a bit. Just trying that as well, just giving you.
Well, it was probably one player I was quicker than. I wasn't quicker than many, but I was definitely quicker than Danny Murphy.
Well, quicker, taller. I mean,
better looking.
Absolutely, much better hair.
Yeah, got my hair and I. So it's grey, but I'm trying to be like a bit more like Jamie with the grey.
At this point, just want to shout out to everyone and their haircuts. Now that we've had a chance to all get cut, some of these Fulham fixes we have looked an absolute state. But good to see everyone looking especially. Thanks, man. Yeah, went quite tight at the sides. Anyway, moving on. So Erik, from avoiding relegation on the last day of the season to then finishing 7th the next season and qualifying for the Europa League. What an incredible turnaround. Did you find the Great Escape did its part in really uniting that team and making that possible?
Yeah, I think so. And during my time, we had such a good group of players and obviously a really good manager that was really into the details and we all knew what we were doing on the pitch and obviously before the new season we got a few good signings that really helped. So. It was a good group. It was a good atmosphere around the club. It was so everything was in place, and obviously we were hard to beat. That was our strength. So it was a really good time.
Incredible time, and again, Massa, you've been part of so many incredible memories for Fulham fans. Let's touch on the Europa League now. What are your highlights from our Europa League run?
My highlights. Biggest highlight is obviously the Clint Dempsey goal against Juventus. That's that's everything put together. It's the perfect goal. The importance of it, the beauty of it, and everything. That's just give me goosebumps just talking about it, because it was such a magic moment. Obviously, going to Hamburg and playing in the final, representing Fulham in a European final, obviously makes you proud. Shame that we lost the game, but when you look back at it 10, 11 years on, it still makes you a bit proud that you have been a part of something like that.
Again, not to dwell on it, but this is again one of the reasons why something like a European Super League just was such poison to nearly every football fan, because having moments like that for Fulham, a team like Fulham, modest, just so out of this world to go all the way to the final, to do what we did, to beat teams like Juventus. These are memories that you can never take away. Likewise, for you, Sean, because you qualified for the UEFA Cup with Fulham through the Intertoto. Those moments are massive, and another reason why something like this European Super League Cup, whatever, would have just been poison for the game.
It makes me laugh. What right do Arsenal or Tottenham, who are not even in the top four, have to be in a top six? Even Man United are not even. It's like,
honestly,
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It really is, and you think of we played them this season as well. We've beaten Liverpool, we've made Arsenal and Spurs at times look really ordinary, and these are the people trying to stake their claim and never be relegated. I could go on about this. I've been so it's lovely being able to talk to you guys, because I've been talking to my wife, who's trying to understand why I'm so passionate and upset about it. She goes, "Oh, these aren't your clubs though, are they?" I'm like, "No, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's what they're trying to do." Anyway. Sorry, I'm going to breathe about that. Back to you, Erik. The Europa League final. You knew that was going to be your final match for Fulham. Is that correct? How did that feel then? It must have been incredibly emotional.
Yeah, obviously it was. You had all the emotions at once. You had the emotion that you were proud being able to represent in a Europa final. You were sad because you kind of knew that it was your last game, but still being able to play your last game and say that was a European Cup final is on the same time a good feeling. So it was all kind of emotions, but it really made me want to win the game, because that would be such a great goodbye.
Yeah, a tough way to end. That must have been pretty tricky. Let's talk about. You've got a book out as well. Tell us a little bit about what your book is about. I know it's in Norwegian, isn't it? It's not in English. But what can you describe about it, and tell us a little bit about what you mentioned about Fulham in there?
It's actually in Dutch. To be fair, it is just a book about my career, my story, how I came to Groningen and Manchester United at the beginning. That was quite a special story, and then moving on back to Viking in Norway and to Holland and then to Fulham. It is a Dutch guy who has written the book. It is basically his take on it was that I was quite popular in Groningen where I played, and he was kind of thinking why was he so popular, and that's why he wanted to write a book. When it comes to Fulham, it's obviously the great escape. First of all, my transfer from Groningen to Fulham was not an easy one. So it's a little bit of that, and obviously the final, and it's just a book about a normal guy who was lucky enough to become a professional footballer, and it's supposed to be an easy read. So I hope there's a lot of young boys who read it, because everyone can't be a Ronaldo or a Messi. You have to have a few of call it normal guys in football as well.
Are you describing yourself as a normal guy?
Absolutely, like everyone else. But I was lucky enough to be able to play as a professional footballer. But it could easily have been someone else who was in my shoes.
But luckily for us at Fulham, it wasn't. It was yourself. And like I said, you scored some very, very important goals and were pivotal in a lot of incredible moments for Fulham. So we thank you for that. Right. We've got a little bit of time left. I'm going to try and squeeze in a very quick game of first words. I've played this with Sean before. Jamie, I think you're new to first words. And basically what the rules are is I will say one thing to you, and you can respond with the one word it makes you think of with that thing. I hope that makes sense. I'll give you an example. For example, I might say Roy Hodgson, and you might say genius. Just for an example. So we'll start with Erik. Roy Hodgson.
Shape.
Oh, shape? Did you say?
Yeah.
Right. And yeah. I'm guessing you're talking about formatically.
Yes, I do.
Not his actual shape as a person.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Jamie, Roy Hodgson.
Genius.
Okay, back to you, Erik. Manchester United.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Okay. Jamie, Manchester United.
Bruno Fernandes.
Sean.
George Best.
Nice. That could be Fulham as well.
No, I would have said Ivan Berry.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Erik, London.
Oh, beautiful.
Jamie.
Vibrant.
Sean.
Home.
Nice. Erik, we're going with Jimmy Bullard.
Crazy.
Sean. Oh, sorry, Jamie. I'll keep it in order.
Flowing locks.
He does have flowing locks. He still does to this day. They're just a bit grayer. Sean.
Fruit Loop.
Okay, crazy and Fruit Loop. There's a theme there. Erik, Danny Murphy.
Captain.
Erik, Brian McBride.
Legend.
He is a legend. Jamie.
Hero.
Yeah. And Sean, Brian McBride.
Professional.
All right, we'll take professional. Erik, the European Super League. Nice. Jamie.
Nonsense.
Nice. Sean.
Greed.
Nice. And we're going to end finally with Erik, Fulham fans.
Best fans.
Jamie.
Greatest.
Nice. Sean.
Golden Lion.
Golden Lion. There we go. That's a man that's been around many Fulham fans right there. So there we go. That's it for your Fulham Fix. Thanks as always to Sean Davis and to Jamie Reid. And of course, the Fulham legend that is Erik Nevland. Thank you very much for joining us, Erik. Do you have a good time? Maybe come back on again later on?
Very nice. It was fun to be a part of it. So anytime.
Brilliant. It's been great having you. Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you, Sean. And thank you very much for watching at home. And come on, up the Fulham. Keep the faith.